Hey guys, ZoltanStudios here again, once again. This is the drawing board, and I'm going to do some drawing on here. Hope you like it. Oh, now it's not going to work. Is that right? There it goes. The pen that when you work on these programs, it's slippery, you know. It's like drawing on glass. So maybe it's an old lady. Who knows? Who knows what it is? Mighty big chin there, Chris. Already, I'm looking at doing some some resizing. I'm not gonna resize nothing. I'm just gonna keep working at it till it's kind of like what I would like it to be. Just for fun. Just doing it for fun. Something to do, you know. Keep me busy. Who knows, she might end up looking totally different from what I was thinking. But it doesn't really matter. I mean, you know, I can do anything I want. Maybe give her a little smile. I don't know. Should I make her smile a little bit? Sliding all over the place. Okay. What do you think? That better? Could be a little better. This could be a necklace, but I'm not going to make it one. Just something to do, you know. Ding. Ding, ding. It's gone. Okay, remove the mask. Now I can use the eraser and try and go in here. I don't know. It's been so long since I did artwork. If you're gonna be an artist, you know, like this type of artist, you have to do it every day, you know, till you really get good at it. I'm not really that good at it anymore. Well, especially doing a digital drawing, you know. Um, I don't want that. I want the pencil or whatever the hell we were using. Okay, see, this is problem. I don't know what resolution I saved this in. Let's see. File, edit, document. I don't know. Let's see, file new. That's a 600, so I guess I could just really zoom into it. You know what I mean? I think I was using this other brush. It was a little smaller. I don't know. Let's bring this down. Like there's kind of that pouty look to her, and then bring this one out. And then just, yeah, keep going around like this. And then this comes around like that. And this one comes back out. She keeps getting smaller and smaller. Pixel by pixel, we will straighten it out. But that seems a little small, doesn't it? It's because I'm zoomed in. Zoom out a little bit. See what it looks like. Yeah. Pretty small, but women have smaller, lower. Let's just mess around with her hair here a little bit. I'm trying to zoom in a little bit on it. Don't mess with her ear here. I guess you just have to know how an ear works or how an ear looks. She might have an earring on it, I doubt it. Just seems like I'm not getting any shading or, you know what I mean? So I was wanting to use a pencil. A little more shading to it. Have this come around. What do you think that looks like in the It just goes to show you, I don't know, I guess because I'm zoomed in so far. Look at that. That's funny. I just want to do something here that'll Make it look a little realistic, you know. Everybody has a little bit of hair hanging down there like that. I'm just adding in lines, man. Give her that look. She's like, what are you doing? Well, dear, I'm just trying to give you a little bit of freedom in your hair, you know. Don't you want freedom in your hair, Mrs. Liberty? And most women have short foreheads, so I'm just going to go ahead with this shorter style. I'm going to show the other side too. Just bring it over so it looks more like she's a real person. Give me a little bit of an eraser in here. I don't know what happened up here or over here, because this is a woman, you know. She's supposedly it's a woman. There you go. That's okay. We'll bring these back in here. Some of these here. It's just line work, you know. Trying to make it have the hair, have that little bit of beauty to it, you know, that hair has. These here are kind of out of place, these ones right here. And you see where it crossed there? That's not cool either. Not a hair shall be out of place. And this thing, I mean, I tried with that pencil tool, but it just looked ridiculous, so we're just going to get rid of that. I'll come back in and redo it. Excuse me. Got a frog in my throat. I just woke up this morning. How are you people? I'm over here doing a little bit of artwork. I'm trying to make my day go by, drinking my cup of coffee. It's better than going back to sleep, I suppose. And I haven't been doing this stuff in a while. I wanted to show you a little bit of, you know, me doing a little bit of work. Seeing as how I don't hardly ever do anything. Never publish anything or anything, but something like this can take a while to do. And, you know, I didn't do any schemata or anything. I just coming in here and kind of looking and seeing what this woman is going to see, who she's going to be, what she want to know, who she going to you know, be part of it. Who knows? She might end up being Joan of Arc or some. You know, you want women to. This is the age of the empowerment of women. The age of Aquarius. And they should be empowered. Women are, you know, really cool. I like women. I've always liked women. I mean, you know, who doesn't like women, but let's see if we can draw a little bit of her hair coming up here. I don't know. I would go up here and give her a little more daintier nose. I don't know, where's the smear tool? There's the blur tool. See, blur that out a little bit. Blur this in a little bit. Blur it in and out a little bit, you know. That's what I wanted to do up here, was kind of give it a blur, and it just didn't want to do it for me. It just wanted to give me some speckles. And the thing is, I mean, this is her ear. It has to be gingerly placed in there. It can't just be globbed, you know what I'm saying? Everybody loves a beautiful ear. And, you know, ears usually have that top part there. A little bit of shading down in here. Now this bottom part, I wouldn't really even draw a line here. I mean, I hate it when when you draw a. Get rid of this a little bit. I hate it when they draw a picture and women just, it's kind of like putting things underneath their eyes. You know, they just they don't have that. They might have crow's feet or whatever, but there's not too many women that have you know, if you put bags on them and stuff in their eyes, it makes them look really old. You don't want to do that. So what I should have done is I should have used the smear tool on it. So I'll try that instead of getting rid of it. I'm just going to smear it in here. I mean, that soft look is more what a woman really should look like. You know what I mean? They don't need that heavy. She doesn't have boogers or a beard. So I'm going to have to figure out how to get, I guess I'll have to clip this mouth to make it a little bigger, you know, to get it where I want it. So put it like up here more. I mean, somewhere in there. What do you think? Is that okay? Oh, what happened? I don't want to do that. Accidentally touched something. Okay, so that looks a little better. It just doesn't, I don't know, maybe I should use my eraser over here. It just, nobody wants, I mean, the nose is a little big. I don't know, I mean, women are women. Some of them are different than others. Okay, give me the blur tool. Let's blur this back up. I thought this was a blur tool. It is, but there's nothing there to blur in the white. Okay, so we're gonna blur the black here. That's just erasing. I'm still using the wrong side. Okay, so here's the blur tool, and I'm just trying to blur it all in so that it'll look better. Let me draw it over a little bit. So this comes down like this, and then around like this, and maybe a little here, and a little here, and this hair comes around like this. You know what I mean? And I'm going to draw that back in where it should be. See, this is like, this is behind her ear, you know what I mean? Where, Sarah. So she's just a pretty girl, and her hair comes down behind her ear. She just... That's like that picture of my wife. There's a picture of my wife that's really nice. I should do that picture one day. I just like drawing. It's soothing, you know what I mean, and comforting, and I like doing it. So the hell with everybody. You know what I mean. So what about the shading and stuff? Well, I mean, you could go up here. Where's this at? Let's get rid of some of this, because, yeah, I mean, I wanted it to be edit, undo. Edit, undo. I want it to be shaded. But just where I want it to be shaded, you know what I mean? I don't want it to be shaded where I don't want it to be shaded. And I want it to be shaded where I want it to be shaded. Yeah, I mean, this is the whole thing about a picture of a woman like this is the shading. And the hair and what you do with it, you know. So, I mean, it's a little girl, I guess. She's just a little girl, you know. And I'm gonna go ahead and give her just a cheek here, you know. Give her a little bit of a cheek here, and I'm gonna smear that in. So this is her cheek coming around, and she's probably this part, you know, I mean, this has all got to be smeared up in here. It has to be done in better. Oh, that's terrible. Alright, well, let's try it again. Sometimes you have to do it over and over till you get it right. Well, it gets so smeared in at one point that it's just and you want her to be pretty, I mean. See? Put this like this. Let's make her smiling just a little bit. Sorry for the silence, but I was trying to get this right. As you can see, I'm not very good at it. Anyway, I'm trying to blur this back up a little bit. Let's blur some of that white back over there. I know when I was using photo paint all the time, you really got to realize these are bitmaps. You know what I mean? These aren't vectors. So you're talking about moving pixels, see the little squares and everything. And this is 600 dpi. You know, I don't know why it's so pixelated at 600 dpi. I mean, you're almost doing it square by square. You know? Kind of crazy. I don't know. I must be zoomed way in. Let's see. Well, that's pretty zoomed in. Let's get rid of this part of her eye up here that doesn't look good. And let's come down here. At some point, I'm going to really start to do what I know how to do best, and that's draw. Because I've been doing it for quite a while, so I know how to do it. It's just a matter of getting in here and doing it. And it's a matter of extraction. So you didn't need all this out here. I could have used that rectangle tool to get rid of this too, but I didn't. And then let's put her crown of her head up here. Oh. Trying to do it. Been a while since I've used this arm like it's supposed to be used. If you think that's where it's supposed to be used at all. Come on. Let's tuck this back in here. What are you doing? Got her hair all out. Her hair all out in the middle of nowhere. And I used to like put different things in their hair Make them look a little better that way. Anyways, right down in here, be where you would get that inner push, and then this is the outer push, and then it would go here and back up like this. We're working on it, you know. Each and every little hair. I'll put a little bow on her hair or something, you know what I mean? Maybe she would like a little bow. Gosh. I first wake up, I was have like a frog in my throat. But yeah, I need to learn again how to how to draw with this equipment. So we're starting to get a little bit, but what we're gonna do here is we're gonna smear this in a little, and it's gonna pick it up, tone it up a little bit. This will be the shading for the actual. That's what you have to do with hair. I mean, you know, there's a bunch of different ways you can do it, but there's shading that has to be put in here, you know. And none of it's supposed to be that permanent, because it starts looking gangly, you know what I mean? And you don't want that. You want it to look beautiful, wispy. I mean, I could have just changed the color, I guess. And you'll start seeing parts that you want to pick out, you know, parts that are going to be darker and parts that are going to be lighter, and where the shade should go, and what makes it, you know, what catches the highlights of the, I mean, depending on what highlights you're going to put in it, but it's kind of a painterly thing. But I like doing it. I like working with a brush and pen. It's just something that you do, you know. I mean, it's so relaxing if you're not pressured into doing it. I mean, it's one thing to do it. I'll go ahead and give her some floaties out here. This is outside of her hair, but because you really don't want it that dark. Maybe on the inside, a little darker, like right in here. Maybe right in here there should be some more dark. Because you want the hair to look like it's folding over itself, you know. So that would mean that there was little dark areas where it would come back out. Because hair is kind of like fabric, you know, it flows. like fabric flows. And, you know, hair's going to make this entire picture, I would believe, you know. So, I mean, you're better off, the longer the hair is, the more hair you got, the better off you're going to be. It's just, you know, that's just how hair is. I'm trying to draw some individual strands in here. Make it look like it's coming around her ear. A little darker right by the ear where it's coming out, you know. I don't know about this. This is kind of a mistake. This ear here is going to have to be a little darker in here. You know what I mean? That's where the inside of the inner ear comes into play. Of course, she's got to have a hole there. 'Cause she has to hear, you know. And this other hair be coming in here, you know, because it's part of her hair too. And you have to concentrate and just enjoy what you're doing. You know, that's what it's all about. And when I'm going straight up like that, it makes it look like her head is flat, and you don't want that. You know, you want it to look like her head is round up here. So you need to give this curve a bigger curve. You know what I'm saying? Instead of going this way at it, you need to go this way at it. Look like this hair is coming back off of this crest. You know what I'm saying? Because women are very fastidious about their hair. I mean, not this woman in particular, but yeah, women like their hair to be. And you may have sections where it goes down or whatever, but this hair comes down this way up in here too. You know what I mean? So, and there's got to be, you know, some hair ends here too. It's not one big sheet. It has to be a group of, you know what I'm saying? And the more you use this blur to it, the more it looks like a sheet. You know what I'm saying? It makes it look more like a sheet. But you want both. You want that sheet look, and you want uh, you don't want to give a sheet. I mean, just kidding. Uh, but you want it to look very gentle and smooth, and you know, 'cause she's a girl. She's pretty and loving and kind and generous, and you don't want it to look frizzy. You want it to look straight. You know what I mean? I mean, it's okay, a little frizz, but that's not what you want. Like, see here on top, this part is where the highlight's going to be. So I'm just trying to darken it in here a little bit so that I can put the highlight on top of it, you know, because you're going to have to come back in here. It's amazing uh, how many brush strokes it takes to do somebody's hair like this. But I'm going to come back here. See, this is me coming back doing the other side of the other side of her hair. I'm trying, let me zoom in a little bit, because it's got to be just right. Come on, zoom in up here. Okay, see, this is her hair coming out. I mean, I didn't even have to put this side of her hair in there, but I just thought it would look cool. And this really will be shaded. I mean, the whole thing will probably be shaded. But there's a part down in here that needs to be extra black, you know what I mean? Because it's where the part is. You know, depending on what, even if her hair was blonde, it would still have that little darkness here where it separates this hair, this side of the head, to that side of the head, depending on where you want the depending on where you decide to put the highlights and the, you know, the light coming down on it, the perspective of the light. See, here's the edge of it. Now this part, I mean, I'm not going to go in here and make it a real dark spot there, but this whole thing, it doesn't need to be all messy, and you see all these loose ends up here. It doesn't need that. She ain't got hair flying all over the place like that. Yeah. Yeah. We'll get rid of all this. Because you want the top of the hair looking like it's going over the bottom of the hair, you know what I mean? And yeah, blurring this in is really going to make it not pop, but, and then we'll take some of the other, we'll do like a racing and try and make it look even more curved, like, you know what I mean? There's a line, see that line running right down there? So we're going to try and get rid of that line, stuff like that, but right now I'm just going to go in and color this in a shaded color. As you can see, this is the shaded color that goes underneath, right? Because these white spots can't just be all over the place. You know, it's got to be dark to white here. This has to be a little darker. And then I'm going to come back in here. Now you see a lot of that was lost there, but I'm gonna have to try and free it back up with this eraser. I just hope that the eraser is soft enough to do what I'm trying to do here. And here comes some of the eraser. This is like the edge. It's just going right along that edge. Yeah, it's just putting it right in there. And it comes down. You know, that's how that. Yeah, there it goes. Just it's hanging there, you know. And then over here, it's the same way, but it's going the other direction. See? So with the eraser tool, you can do a lot. You can make it look a lot more. I mean, depending on the size of the tool, you know. the hardness of the brush, the blend. I don't really care. I'm just putting this in here, but you know what I'm talking about. Now let me get the other side of this. See, now this is, that side's in, right? Kinda. Now I'm going to try and come through here and get this other side. Okay, so here comes the other side. Every dang hair. Oh, you want it to look like it has an edge here. Uh-huh. And this down here is where, that was where that shadow was that we made. So here it comes. And it's different lengths, you know. Some coming up from the bottom, some coming up from the top. And this goes way over here. Okay. And who knows, maybe this won't turn out, you know. Maybe it won't look good. But the thing is, it's still a good exercise in hatching and cross hatching, you know what I mean? But I see what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make it look like the top of her hair is going over the top of her head, of her hair that's underneath there. You know what I mean? Maybe we'll do some superheroes or something for you. Let's see, I'm going to try and hook it into this up here so it appears to be her hair. Coming over. It's alright. It's okay. It's okay, kitty. I just can't have you in my lap right now. And as you can see, this is where that black line's coming from. And the more you articulate that black spot, the more it's going to look like a head, the top of the head, you know what I mean? And then you can come along in here and do it again. But it depends on how long the person's hair is, you know what I mean? Like my hair personally, it wouldn't be, you know, I got short hair, so. And this is long hair, but still it's got to be colored in, you know what I mean? You can't just leave it like this out here. You have to have some hair along the edges here. And you got to have some coloration in here, and otherwise it's just going to look silly. I mean, when you get really long hair, you can just do like shades of dark and light, because you can smooth this all in, and it will, you know, because the hair's so long that but I would still like to have another part of her hair coming down here. comes out. You know what I mean? From underneath this up here. To make it look like it's part of her hair coming down here. Because you see, like here, where was the edge of it, you know? But I guess it doesn't matter. Just like over here, I left it, but I don't know. Am I just talking to myself? I think I am. Nobody ever watches my videos anyway, so. Okay. So that kind of gives that a little bit of dark. Now let's zoom out and see how that looks compared to. Now see how muddy this looks down here at the bottom? And how we're going to have to put a bow in there. And, you know, we need to straighten up some of these. Like in this area here, you got a little too much blurriness there. There's no highlight, you know. Now I want to put highlight in there, but I want the highlight to be a little bit lighter or thinner than what it normally was. So where does it? Let's go this way, and where's the brush size? Okay, brush size. Let's go to here 2. Okay, there's 2. See? Now this is where we're going to come back in. I got to put a little more pressure to it. We're trying to add that highlight back in so that it all looks cohesive. You know, I can't just have a bunch of blurbs down here. You know what I mean? It's got to have that white. Oh, yeah. But you can see, I mean, I can't really explain it, but you just have to keep going with it. That's one way to say it. But I'm trying to color it, you know, I mean, not color it, but give it some kind of hair-like structure. To where it goes, like here, it really needs to go up and be, this is the highlight that has to go along here. And yeah, I guess I could have just highlighted it, and like here, this needs to be highlighted right along here, up in here. And you just have to look at it as you go along, I guess. Some people are really good at it. You know, it just depends. And then, like, if you want to darken it in, you just have to come back with the other side. You know, like right in here, it needs to be a little darker. Off the back of that ear. And those little touches, you know, is just going to make it look a little bit better. This is that shading underneath that ear. And it's got one coming across here, and I don't know, I think I just get rid of it, but it's got 2 coming down here. This one here. And it's funny because you're talking about one hair, you know. So don't get it wrong, because there's only one of them. So here's the other ones coming up from the other side. Okay, so then if that's like that, then down here is going to be shaded too. Let's see this coming down from down here. See? And this is shaded too, goes up. So where's the light? I guess it comes around, you know what I mean, like this. now the strands are getting longer and longer, you know. But you're wanting to put it in there, so. Then like there where I made a mistake on that hair right there, I'm just going to go right along here and get rid of it. And remember me saying I didn't like this spot? I still don't like it. Because right in there is where it makes her look like that's the side of her cheek, dude. She wouldn't allow, if she had something like that on her, she wouldn't allow it, you know what I mean? So I'm going to go ahead and try and get this just a little bit lighter right in here. I want to show that these are hairs coming up here. See, those ones came out and the other one around. So where is the top of this part that comes around? I don't know, probably right out here. Because you're going to want to put another shadow. I think this is the ultimate part that goes around here. You know what I'm saying? So this really is coming across here and going up to hook into her face here. And I don't know, I would most likely get rid of even this stuff here. This part right in here. Give her a more clear complexion. And yeah, with the eraser you can come in here and make this look more like it really just comes off her head. But this whole part in here is going to be darker. Because that's that piece of hair that went around. So, I mean, all of her hair is going to be pretty dark. It has to be. You have to have light and shading in all of it. You know what I mean? But you don't want it to be blurry and I mean, yeah, shadow, but you don't want too many lines going in too many different directions. You know what I mean? There's got to be some type of symmetrical, you know. So here's another wave that comes down, see, right here. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut it off and just let it be a wave of hair in the middle of her hair. So here's the other end of it. The bottom side, as they would say. And I'm going to go ahead and give it a little crook here too, with a little piece of hair hanging out. Like that. And have it come up here and curve right back in there. So this would be a little dent. But here, see, you're going to have more shading because this is behind this piece of hair here. I'll show you this piece of hair right here. I'm gonna try and smooth it out a little bit so you can see the piece of hair I'm talking about. It's going across here. But I'm learning, how to control my hand so that in future drawings I'll be able to do faster cross hatching and smoother lay-ins, you know, longer hair. But it's hard because you like say it's slippery. This thing is slippery as hell, man. I'm using a Artist Pro 16-inch tablet, and I've got a nice headset I use that's wireless, so I don't have to have all the wires. I'm just sitting here on my easy chair. uh, it's a one of those easy lazy boy chairs. 'Cause that's me. I'm a lazy boy. That's what I ought to name. I ought to change my name from Zoltan to Lazy Boy. But see, it's starting to come in a little bit more now. Uh, but there's certain parts. See, because your eye follows this shit. You know what I mean? When you got your eye, when you're looking at this picture, your eye follows along the paths of the hair and the. And if it's not cohesive, like if this part right up here isn't a little darker that goes up underneath the other one, instead it's lighter, then something's wrong. You know what I mean? It's going to give you your own eye will give you, oh, this is something wrong here, buddy, because this part's supposed to be shaded. It's going up underneath that other part. So you have to do it, to make it look right. And then you got to come in even after you shaded it, or you just blurred in a little shade there. But still, you have to come in and is this the pen tool? No. You know what I'm saying? You have to put the darkness underneath the hair and have the hair going out like this, and this hair here being, you got to put ends on it because I have decided that this whole thing was going to be the top of the head, and that it was coming out a little bit, and that's like where there was a cut in her hair, or where her hair curved over. So I'm having to come down in here and put the bottom underneath it. Now I don't want it to look like, you know what I mean. I don't want it to look like it was hurt there, or like it was chopped off there or something. I just want it to look like the wave of the hair is going up that direction. And it's just a matter of hatching and cross hatching. And color tone and. But it's soothing to sit and do this. I mean, I don't know how much you guys are going to pay me for this, but I figured $20, $30 an hour for every person who comes into the live class. Be okay, yeah. I don't really like how those converge there. Me neither. So this down here, this all has to look like hair too, and it doesn't at the moment. Yeah, it just looks like And this hair here probably would be some of the most important hair. And then there's going to have to be some shading behind it, because this hair comes down, you know what I'm saying? And this hair goes this way, and this hair goes that way. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Just showing you. Here's one of my favorite things to do. You know, probably one of yours too. If you watch this video this long. And I would like to speed these up and do some speed painting for you. But I don't know why. I can't figure out what I'm not doing to get that done right. It's the video editing that I can't seem to get straight, if you know what I mean. Try to give a little highlight back in here. And I mean, you can go over the whole thing with this damn eraser. Just like you can go over the whole thing with the blur tool. You know. But there's part of it, you know. This is how it works. I would come down and get rid of some of this hair here, like through here. What's going on? How come it's not? Yeah, it's a polyline tool, right? Why isn't it polylining? I'm using my eraser, that's why. So I would come down more like this. Clear that. I mean, maybe not that far, but yeah. Well, she just got terrible hair. She got terrible hair. That's what she's got. You really have to pay attention to, like down here, where it's going to be going. Okay, let's smooth this out. Give me a little bit larger pen here. Make it 8. Yeah, I mean this right in here is just supposed to be da da da. Wah, 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 wah. just using it to shade in some of her face here. Yeah, the whole lower part of her head needs to be shaded well, and I just I got the phone ringing over here. I guess these guys want me to come over there. They wanted me to come and have something to eat. Do, 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 do. I don't know. Does this thing have a gradient tool? Gradient fill tool? Light gray. Really light gray. I don't know if I can do that. I'm just going to move it right across here like this. Because I'm going to blur it. Can't even tell it's there. Must be an alarm. I don't have nobody call me, so it's got to be an alarm. Let's go ahead and make her. Let's go ahead and make her a little thinner here. Do dee do. I must have alarm set. Anyway, you finally got some background music you've been wanting, you know. But there you have it. I mean, we can work on it some more, make it, you know, the more and more you work on it, the better and better it gets. And you just keep working on it, you know, until it becomes a person that you want to see. So anyway, that's the studio shop work for today, and I'm glad that y'all could come. Thanks for visiting. I hope that you like and subscribe. We'll show some more pictures. Maybe we'll do some flowers or different things like that. And I just happen to like doing hair, but I mean, you know, we could do any kind of stuff you wanted. And Anyway, like and share, and we'll get back at you the next time we get to the artist studio. Okay, this is Zoltan, and we'll be signing off now. And thanks for watching. God bless.